Buckle up, because your breakfast routine is about to get a serious wake-up call. What if I told you that eggs, those humble golden orbs you've relied on for years, might be hiding mistakes that could undermine your health, especially as an elderly person? For seniors, eggs can be a nutritional lifeline or a silent saboteur, depending on how you treat them. In the next few minutes, we're going to crack open a vault of mind-blowing insights that will flip your egg game upside down and change how you see this kitchen staple forever. Imagine discovering that the eggs you've eaten your whole life could be quietly draining essential nutrients, or worse, putting your golden years at risk. It's a shocking truth too many older adults stumble into blindly. But don't worry, you're about to step into the light and become an egg expert, ready to protect your health and savor every bite. We're not talking about little oversights here. These are big, sneaky blunders that could be hitting your wallet, dulling your meals, and chipping away at your vitality, mistakes that hit seniors hardest. From storage slip-ups to cooking catastrophes, we're diving deep into the common pitfalls that can turn this protein-packed treasure into a problem. And trust me, when we get to mistake number 4, you'll be floored by how something so ordinary could be so harmful. Are you ready to revolutionize your egg experience and unlock a world of flavor, nutrition, and peace of mind? Let's dive in. Your body, your taste buds, and your later years will thank you. Mistake 1. Eating raw or runny eggs without caution. Let's kick things off with a bold one. Eating raw or undercooked eggs. Some folks, maybe even you, love cracking a raw egg into a smoothie, dipping toast into a runny yolk, or whipping up a quick salad dressing with that golden goodness. It's easy to see why. Eggs are nutritional rock stars, bursting with high-quality protein to keep your muscles strong, vitamins like B12 and D to boost energy and bones, and minerals like selenium and phosphorus that seniors need to stay sharp. The idea of keeping them raw or runny to preserve all that goodness is tempting, right? Maybe you've heard it's the ultimate way to soak up their natural power. But here's the harsh reality, especially for the elderly. This habit could be a gamble with stakes higher than you realize. The villain in this story is Salmonella, a sneaky bacteria that can cling to eggshells or even lurk inside, waiting to strike. For younger people with robust immune systems, the risk might feel like a minor hiccup, maybe a day of discomfort and done. But as we age, our defenses weaken, and what's a small annoyance for a 30-year-old can spiral into a major health crisis for someone over 65. We're talking fever that spikes out of nowhere, stomach cramps that double you over, diarrhea that won't quit, and dehydration that could land you in the ER. Foods like homemade mayonnaise, soft-boiled eggs with liquid centers, sunny-side-up eggs with that gooey yolk, or even raw cookie dough with eggs in the mix. They're not just treats, they're a roll of the dice every single time. Picture Helen, a spirited 71-year-old who swore by her daily raw egg smoothie. She'd read online that it was a nutrient goldmine, perfect for keeping her active and healthy in her retirement years. For months, she blended them up with fruit and a smile, feeling like she'd cracked the code to vitality. Then came the day it all crashed down. A brutal bout of salmonella hit her like a freight train. Fever, chills, and a week of misery later, her doctor laid it out plain. She'd been lucky it wasn't worse. Now, Helen's all about fully cooked eggs, scrambled with a sprinkle of herbs, boiled until the yolk sets, or poached to perfection. She's back to her energetic self, no health scares in sight. Cooking kills off bacteria like salmonella and makes nutrients more bioavailable, meaning your body actually gets more out of them. And here's a bonus kicker. Raw egg whites contain a protein called avidin that binds to biotin, a B vitamin crucial for metabolism, healthy skin, and hair, and stops your body from using it. Over time, that could lead to a deficiency, leaving you tired and brittle. Cook those eggs, and avidin breaks down, letting biotin do its job. Think organic or free-range eggs are safer? Sadly, no. Salmonella doesn't care where the egg came from or how happy the hen was. The fix is simple. Cook your eggs until both whites and yolks are firm. Can't give up that runny texture? Try pasteurized eggs. They're heat-treated to zap bacteria while keeping the yolk soft. For seniors, it's about staying safe without losing the joy of eggs, because you deserve both. Mistake 2. Storing eggs like they're indestructible. Next up, treating eggs like they can fend for themselves. You boil a dozen eggs for the week, scramble up a big batch for breakfast, or fry a couple for a quick snack, then leave them sitting out or toss them in the fridge without much thought. Seems harmless, doesn't it? But for the elderly, this storage slip-up can turn a nutritious meal into a ticking health bomb faster than you'd believe. Here's the science behind it. Bacteria love warm, moist environments, and eggs, whether cooked or raw, are like a 5-star hotel for germs like Salmonella or E. coli. Once they're left in the danger zone, that's between 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, those pathogens can multiply at an alarming rate, doubling every 20 minutes or so. Imagine this scenario. You whip up a fluffy omelet, get distracted by a phone call from a grandkid or a knock at the door, and leave it on the counter for a couple of hours. It looks fine. No weird smells, no odd colors, so you heat it up and eat it. But in that time, invisible bacteria could have turned your meal into a health hazard. For seniors, whose immune systems aren't as quick to fight back, that could mean days of sickness, dehydration stressing your kidneys, or even a hospital visit if things get rough. Take Jim, a 68-year-old retiree who loved his hard-boiled eggs. He'd cook a big batch on Sunday, leave them on the kitchen table to cool, and figure they'd be fine until he got around to refrigerating them, sometimes hours later. One day he popped one for a snack and spent the next 2 days battling nausea and cramps. His doctor pinned it on poor storage, letting bacteria take hold. Now Jim's got a system. Eggs go straight from the pot to an ice bath to cool fast, then into an airtight container in the fridge within an hour. He hasn't had a problem since. The rules are straightforward but non-negotiable, especially for the elderly. If you're not eating eggs right away, cool them down and refrigerate them within 2 hours. 1 hour if it's a hot day or your kitchen's toasty. Hard-boiled eggs with shells intact? Store them in a sealed container. They're good for up to a week. Scrambled, fried, or omelets. Same deal, but eat them within 3 to 4 days. And don't just shove them in the fridge door where temps fluctuate. Put them in the coldest spot, usually the back of a middle shelf. A little diligence here keeps your eggs safe, tasty, and packed with the nutrients seniors need to thrive. Mistake 3. Cooking eggs like you're in a rush. Now, let's step into the kitchen and face a massive mistake: overcooking eggs. For the elderly, eggs are a dietary MVP. Protein to maintain muscle mass as you age, choline to keep your brain firing, healthy fats for energy, and antioxidants like lutein to protect your eyes from wear and tear. But if you're cranking the heat too high or cooking them too long, you're not just ruining a good meal, you're torching those benefits and maybe even adding risks to the mix. When you fry eggs until the edges turn brown and crispy, boil them until the yolk gets that gray-green ring, or scramble them on high until they're dry as a desert, you're setting off a chain reaction. The fats and cholesterol in eggs, normally neutral or even beneficial, oxidize under excessive heat, forming compounds like oxidized cholesterol. Research connects this stuff to inflammation, a sneaky driver of heart disease, arthritis, and other chronic issues that hit seniors harder as the years pile on. Plus, heat-sensitive nutrients like B12 for energy, folate for cell repair, and lutein for vision? They degrade fast, leaving you with a fraction of the goodness you signed up for. That sulfur smell from an overcooked boiled egg, or the rubbery texture of overscrambled ones? That's your clue something's gone wrong. Think of Clara, a 73-year-old who adored her morning fried eggs, cooked hot and fast until the edges curled up crunchy. She thought it was the perfect way to start her day, until she started feeling bloated and sluggish, with occasional heartburn creeping in. Her son, a health nut, suggested she might be overcooking. Skeptical but curious, Clara tried scrambling her eggs low and slow with a touch of olive oil instead. Within a couple of weeks, the bloating faded, her energy perked up, and she even noticed her meals tasted richer. The secret? Gentle heat. Boil eggs for 6 to 7 minutes for a creamy yolk, poach them in a light simmer, or scramble on medium-low, stirring slowly with a bit of butter or oil. You'll preserve the nutrients, dodge the risks, and end up with eggs that melt in your mouth, not fight you back. For seniors, this isn't just about taste. It's about getting the most out of every bite. Overcooking might not make eggs toxic overnight, but over time, it chips away at the health boost they're supposed to give you. A little patience in the kitchen goes a long way. Your body will feel the difference. Mistake 4. Reheating eggs without a plan. Reheating eggs might sound like a no-brainer, but it's a hidden trap, especially for the elderly. Ever tossed leftover scrambled eggs in the microwave and ended up with a tough, chewy mess? That's not just a culinary fail. It's a sign you're overcooking them again, stripping away nutrients, and maybe missing bacteria that snuck in if they weren't stored properly to start with. Microwaves are the usual suspect. They blast eggs unevenly, turning them rubbery while breaking down vitamins like D and B12 that seniors need for strong bones and steady energy. Worse, if those eggs sat out too long before you refrigerated them, say more than 2 hours, reheating won't always kill off bacteria like salmonella. In fact, it might give them a warm, cozy boost to grow even more. For older adults, that's a double whammy. You're losing the good stuff and risking a foodborne illness that hits harder when your immune system's not at its peak. Consider Ed, a 70-year-old who loved making extra omelets to reheat later. He'd zap them in the microwave, shrug at the texture, and eat them anyway, until a bout of stomach trouble sent him to the doctor. Turns out, his habit of leaving eggs out for hours before chilling them, then reheating them carelessly, had let bacteria thrive. Now Ed's smarter about it. He stores leftovers fast, then reheats them gently on the stovetop with a splash of water or broth over low heat. They stay moist, flavorful, and safe. And he's back to enjoying his meals without worry. The trick? Skip the microwave and go low and slow. Warm eggs on the stove with a bit of liquid, water, broth, or even a dab of butter to keep them soft, stirring until they're just hot enough. Only reheat what you'll eat right then. Repeated heating cycles are a no-go. And always start with eggs that were refrigerated quickly after cooking, sealed tight in a container. For the elderly, this small shift can mean the difference between a healthy bite and a health scare. Mistake 5. Ignoring egg freshness. Finally, let's tackle a mistake too many seniors gloss over: using old or damaged eggs. You grab a carton from the store, check the expiration date, and figure you're good to go. But eggs can trick you, looking fine on the outside while hiding trouble within, especially if they're cracked or past their prime. For the elderly, this can turn a wholesome dish into a health hazard in a heartbeat. Eggs might seem sturdy, but they're fragile in their own way. Cracks, even tiny ones you can't see, let bacteria like salmonella slip inside. And freshness? Expiration dates are a guide, not gospel. Eggs can spoil early if they've been mishandled, left out too long at the store, bumped around in transport, or stay good longer if stored right. How do you tell? The water test is your best friend. Drop an egg in a bowl of cold water. If it sinks and lies flat, it's fresh as can be. If it stands upright, it's still okay, but use it soon. If it floats, chuck it. Air's built up inside, meaning it's gone bad. Take Ruth, a 69-year-old who prided herself on her sunny-side-up eggs. One morning she cracked an egg and caught a whiff of something off, faintly sulfur-like, but cooked it anyway, thinking the heat would fix it. Hours later she was hit with nausea, cramps, and a day of misery her doctor traced to a spoiled egg. Now, Ruth tests every egg before cooking and stores them in the coldest part of her fridge, not the door where temps swing. She also checks for cracks, rolling each egg in her hand to feel for flaws. No more guesswork, no more risks. For seniors, this is critical. Your body doesn't bounce back from food poisoning like it used to. Keep eggs refrigerated at 40 degrees Fahrenheit or below, ideally in their carton to shield them from air and odors. Spot a crack when you get home? Use that egg right away or skip it. Don't chance it sitting around. Freshness isn't just about taste. It's about keeping eggs the safe, healthy choice they should be. Whew, we've uncovered a lot today. 5 common mistakes that can make eggs unhealthy, especially for the elderly, and how to fix them. From cooking them fully to storing them smart, keeping the heat gentle, reheating with care, and checking their freshness. These tips turn eggs into the powerhouse food they're meant to be. Seniors, you deserve every ounce of nutrition and safety these little gems can offer. Don't let these slip-ups steal that from you. What hit home for you today? Was it the raw egg risks? The storage wake-up call? Or maybe that freshness test? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what surprised you or sparked a change. If you found this valuable, hit that subscribe button for health vibes and turn on notifications. We're here to keep you thriving with practical, life-boosting tips like these, and your support powers more content to fuel your wellness journey. Let's keep the good vibes rolling. See you in the next video.